Good evening, guys, and happy Thursday to all of your sunshiny faces. I'm gonna keep today's vlog short because I'm tired and need to get in the shower and get to bed. I also need to warm up because I'm cold. We sat out in the frost off football game. Was very interesting to say the least because it was blazing hot in the sun. It was like, actually today was only like 70, but I dressed warm because I knew it was going to most likely be cold for the varsity game. So here I am, like kind of looking ridiculous because I got like jeans on. I was actually wearing 2 layers. I was wearing this plus I have like an undershirt on underneath it. You know, and they're both long sleeves, and I was like, I'm probably gonna look ridiculous out there, and I felt like I did because everybody else is like dressed, you know, like for kind of what the weather was while we were out there. And you know, again too, the sun's like blazing hot and like shining right at us too. And then sure enough, as soon as the sun goes down for the varsity game, it is like freezing cold. I had an extra sweatshirt I brought with because I was like, I know it's going to be cold, but like then it felt like it got even colder. And then too, the thing is, I was telling you guys how we ended up playing the Friday football game for high school. They played on Thursday instead of on Friday because of the school that we were going to, I think, are doing renovations possibly on their you know, for their stadium or football field, whatever it is. And so they they don't have a field for this year, so they're using a college, which is like an hour away from us. And honestly, the drive home wasn't that bad, but I feel like it was probably like an hour plus maybe from with like all the traffic and everything like that. And at one point too, there was this like truck that like was trying to like make a turn, and they didn't hit anybody, but like it was like stalled in the road. Like I don't know, like because then it was like just stalled like halfway through the turn, and they were like blocking the turn lane from like the other like traffic lane, so like they couldn't turn, and then like we couldn't go straight. There was only one lane, like it was 3 lanes, and there was only one that you could actually get through. So like, but we were all the way in the left lane, so we couldn't like get all the way over. So anyways, but it was like probably a good 5 or 10 minutes, and then we were like, oh, is it just because like the light up ahead was red and so like they couldn't go, but like all the other traffic was like going. And so then, like I said, it was like 5 or 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden they just started going again, and we're like, what on earth? Like they didn't run out of gas, they didn't hit somebody. Like I don't think it stalled because nobody got out to like go and check an engine or anything like that. It was just wasn't, all of a sudden they just decided to start going. So like that too took even more time. So like I said, the drive seemed like it took a while, and then the ride home was like almost no time at all. But because of that too, I know that the varsity game started a little bit later. Like I think it's supposed to start 7:30. It didn't start until probably like 7, like maybe 40. And then the frost off game was supposed to start at 4:30. They didn't start until 5 o'clock because we got there at 5 o'clock, and they had were just starting at that time. Like I actually think we sat down and we like saw the beginning of the game, like so they actually hadn't started yet, which is super weird because sometimes when we go even to our home field, it'll be like, oh, kickoff's at 4:30, and it'll be like we'll get there at like 4:20 and they've already started the game. So I think it was because, again too, if our buses were running late because of traffic, they have to give them like a period of time to be able to actually like warm up and everything like that. So that might have been why too. Again, everything was just kind of running a little late today. So anyways though, went to the game. It was awesome, guys. We won. The final was 58, I think, to 20 something, I think 26 maybe, I don't remember exactly. I think we won at least by double digits. I want to say we almost doubled their score, but this is a team last year that beat us on homecoming, and this was actually their homecoming game. So it's funny too, the coach had actually like said something like, oh, we'd hope to return the favor this year to them. The head coach had said that, and yeah, they ended up doing that, which I think was super awesome. And the frost off game was actually also really close. I think they actually only lost by 1 touchdown, possibly 2, but it was kind of a close game. It was just like the other team got out ahead, and then we didn't really have an answer like for like that, and then we kind of, like I said, were behind, like, and then but it was like we scored, then they scored, then we scored, then they scored, then I think they had the last and like first score, so I think that was kind of why. But I think the frost off at least scored 2 touchdowns. Like I said, I think the other team maybe scored 2 or 3, maybe 4 touchdowns. Well, not 2 because it wasn't a tie. I want to say they scored, but then there was also extra points because the other team ran, I think, 2 of them in or 3 of them in. So the score like looked way different because I think we didn't get any of our extra points, or maybe we only got 1. I can't remember, but maybe we had 3 scores. I don't, like I said, I don't really remember. I don't remember the frost-off score that well. But the varsity game, overall, it went pretty well as far as like filming today. We did run out of battery at one point. And then on top of that too, I don't know, it was like towards the end of the game, they were having trouble. The camera that they actually used was like broken, I guess. The plug wasn't working on it. So then they actually had a camera that they used at the frost-off game, because I guess they have different cameras for the different like levels. And so they were able to actually plug that one in, and it worked, which was awesome. So we didn't have to worry about like not having any for the whole time, because at first he was like, well, we might not have a camera for you to use today, which means I just didn't do anything. But thankfully they were able to get that one and it worked. And then, but for some reason at the end, something like came unplugged. I was literally just sitting there. I wasn't even moving. I didn't like pull on any cord. I wasn't like adjusting like, you know, like seating arrangements or anything like that. All of a sudden the screen went blue, and it normally when it runs out of battery, it says like low battery, and then the screen turns blue and then it just turns off. This time it just turned blue and turned off, and I was like, okay, I think the battery, and this was like maybe like 10-15 minutes after they just like changed the battery. So I wonder if something kind of came loose, and then all of a sudden it just like, I don't know, the wind kind of just shook it loose again. Because then when they were trying to like move the like thing back up, because it's kind of like a telescope kind of thing that like goes up in like a stand, like tripod kind of thing for the camera, when he kept trying to put it back up, it kept coming undone. I was like, oh, it's off again. And then he would like take it down, then put it back up, and we'd like gain the connection again, and then he'd put it back up. So I think it was that like the cord was actually pulling on it. It was too heavy, and so that's why it kind of kept coming out, but it was still in the camera. So then he kind of just looped it around the camera, and then we were good from there. But it was only like the last like 10 or 15 minutes of the game. So anyways, like I said, we've got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, and again, to weird Thursday football game, but we don't have anything like football wise really going on tomorrow now because of that, which is nice. But like I was saying, we've got windows that are being done tomorrow, and like, you know, replaced and everything like that. But again, we've got you know, like that stuff going on. So I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. But if you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up.